When it comes to collabs, they can be a blessing and a curse, especially a first-time collab. You never know who you're going to encounter and what to expect from them. So, in response to all of the collabs that take place at Film Freak Productions, I thought I'd go over what I look for and what I try to avoid when casting people in videos. And in no way do I discriminate anybody of age, race, sex, religion, body type, or with a disability. This is who I will and will not work with. Let's start off on a positive note and look at who I will work with. Well, first and foremost, I'm a non-union filmmaker, so I can only work with non-union talent. Anybody who isn't a part of ACTRA or SAG-AFTRA, which is American. Anybody who's freelance. If you have a manager or an agent booking you gigs, that's fine. But preferably, I like those who are freelance because then I can just come to you directly with stuff. If you're open to my ideas. No matter how off the wall they might be, I love when people accept my ideas and want to be a part of them. You're not afraid to try new things. Some models and actors are adventurous. They don't want to stick to the same shoots all the time. So if you ever want to film something you've never done with anyone else, come on ahead. You respond to all of my messages. It's a huge relief because then I don't have to chase you down and be like, hey, did you see this yet? Or did you get the script? What are your thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. I always say communication is key. You have open availability. Now, obviously, for a collab to work, we have to have the same days free, but not everyone does. I won't always come to you with a film date right away because half the time I never know when I want to start a new project. But as long as there are no conflicts on your end when I do, then we don't have to stress over scheduling. You arrive on time to shoots. What can I say? I don't like tardiness. Neither does anyone else. You take directions well. It makes whatever we're working on easy because there's no overthinking involved. You're understanding exactly what I want done, how I want it, and you're able to deliver a great performance. You work well with others. Besides being on set with me, my concepts may also call on you being alongside other actors and models. Except for 2 accounts where my talent didn't get along with one another, everyone I have for videos are mainly welcoming, new friendships are made, so it makes me feel good knowing you can tolerate me and your co-stars. If you need to bring an escort. Now that could qualify as a will not work with because you've brought somebody along who has no business being here, they're just sitting off to the side and watching over us. Not to me. Shoots can be nerve-wracking, especially if we're collaborating for the first time. So if you need to bring somebody along for comfort, just let me know. And lastly, you have lots of fun. Nothing is more awkward to me than filming a video with somebody and realizing they are not having a good time. Like, I'm sorry, but if you can't have fun doing this, you're in the wrong business. Now for who I will not work with, and I apologize if I come off as a hard ass for some of them. Well, anybody who's union. So if you are with ACTRA or SAG, I don't want to hear from you because you guys have no business with non-union filmmakers. You reject my ideas. If you need to pass on a shoot because, I don't know, maybe it doesn't sound right or whatever, I will totally understand. But if you turn me down so much that I can't seem to let you win on anything, then there's no sense in us doing business together. You don't respond to messages. I hate when people don't return my DMs. Now I get if you don't have the time to sift through your inbox. Not everyone does. But please don't ignore me, especially when we're in the middle of planning a shoot. Because otherwise, what's the point of doing business? Anybody who has limited availability. Again, not everyone has the same days free. But in this case, I'm talking those who are only available certain times of the year. Let's say I want to have you for a shoot that's taking place in the summer, but you can't commit to it because you don't shoot in the summer. You'll only take part if it's in like the fall or winter. Sorry, I'm not waiting around. Anybody who limits themselves. I can't help that actors and models have their preferences. But just so you're aware, if you hit me up about wanting to work together, but you only want to be let in on short films, for example, casting you will be difficult because I may not always see you for that, if we're constantly rescheduling. Now, in the event a shoot gets postponed, it's not the end of the world, as long as we have a new date locked in. But if it gets to the point that we're rescheduling so much that my production has fallen behind, then I will have to pass on having you for it and get somebody else in. If you bail on a shoot. I've had my share of flakes, and I will tell you right now, If you go off and make another commitment after you've already agreed to take part in one of my videos, unless I really want to work with you, I will give you another opportunity. But generally, if you flake, there are no second chances. You don't drive to shoots on time. Now, if you're late by like 15 or 20 minutes and because of traffic, I'll let that slide. But I'm talking more if you're 2, 3, or even 4 hours late. It happens. And you better have a good reason why you took that long when it does, because that is unacceptable. If you rush me, another thing I hate is being rushed during a shoot. I get it. It's taking a long time, we're getting multiple takes of the same thing, but that's what art is, okay? Art is tedious. Plus, when you're rushed, that's when mistakes get made. So unless you want our video coming out looking like crap, we have to take our time. Now this I will not tolerate whatsoever if you take creative control. As long as they don't alter my vision too much, I'm all for any ideas of your own you want to suggest. But don't you dare show up with a bossy attitude and dictate how you want the shoot to go. I'll toss you out faster than you can say lights, camera, action. If you're greedy. I'm not going to give names, but a few past actors and models thought they could call me out for not paying them more than what I'm offering. You have to understand, I'm not trying to be cheap. I just have a set budget I keep within. Unless I'm in a position where I can negotiate with you, basically if I tell you that playing this character will be this much for your time, or taking part in this shoot will be that much for your time, you have to respect that. Besides, you're taking part in a YouTube video. It's not a big budget Hollywood blockbuster, so there's no need to get greedy. And finally, this was never really a thing to begin with, but I may have to start making it one. I won't work with you again if you won't share our video. Personally, I don't think it's fair. How is our video supposed to get lots of attention if you won't help promote it? I can't do it all on my own. So if I ask you to share whatever we did with your followers, I would just really appreciate it if you could. And that concludes my set of guidelines. Who I will and will not work with. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, have a look at these. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're digging my content. Every bit of support helps. Well, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.